Hi, I'm Eliza, and today we have some instructions and questions for you. So let's just dive straight in. What animal is this, please? Good, it's a pig. And what animal is this? Yes, it's a chicken. And which of these animals is predominantly pink? Very good, it is the pig. And which of these animals is predominantly white? Very well done, it's the chicken. Now, looking at both of these animals closely, which of these would you be most likely to come to for life advice? The chicken or the pig? Okay, very good. I'm just going to make a note of some of your answers, just so that I have a record of your responses. Okay, and once again, out of the pig and the chicken, who do you think would be a better driver? Who do you think is a better driver? Who do you feel most safe with behind the wheel? Okay, very good. And finally, which of these do you think is most likely to be late? To be late to an important function, or any function at all, really? Okay, wonderful. Let me just make a note about your perception of those animals. Okay. Now, could you please just follow the flower with your eyes? Just follow the flower. Now look at my finger as I snap. Once again, follow the flower. And now look at my fingers as I snap. I'm not very good at snapping. With those fingers, follow the flower and snap. That's better. Follow the flower and snap. Good. Do you know what kind of flower it was that I just showed you? I'll show you again. It looks like this. Do you know what kind of flower it is? It is a tulip. A tulip. And what colours can you see on the tulip, on the flower itself? Good. It has some orange and yellow, and the stem and the leaf is, of course, green. Very well done. Good. And do you have any ideas of tulips? Any associations that you make with them? Any preconceived notions of tulips? Okay. Not really is also a perfectly acceptable answer if you don't have any ideas about tulips. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Can you please keep following the tulip with your eyes? And do you have any hobbies? Okay, what's your favorite hobby? And if money were no object and time were no object, what hobby would you like to have? I see, very good choice. And if you could have a superpower related to your favorite hobby, what superpower might it be? Very good. Those were very interesting responses that I'll just make a note of now. Okay. Very good. So I'm going to make a sound with this cup, and I would like you to try to ignore the sound and just focus on the sound of my voice. Can you just focus on the sound of my voice and try to ignore the sound of tapping on the cup? Okay, and now I want you to focus only on the sound and try to ignore the sound of my voice. Try to ignore the sound of my voice and focus only on the tapping of the cup. Okay, excellent. And which of those was easier, or were they both the same? Was it easier to ignore my voice or ignore the tapping? Okay. And overall, did you find it easy or difficult or impossible? Okay. Okay, well, lovely. That's great, thank you. And once again, can you tell me what animal this is? Good, it's a cow. And what animal is this? Good, it's a horse. Which animal is closer to you now? Good, which animal is closer to you now? Which animal is closer to you now? Good, which animal is closer to you now? Which animal is closer to you now? Which animal is closer to you now? Good. Can you have a look at these two animals? Which do you think is funnier? Which do you think has a better sense of humour and is funnier to you? Okay, very good. Which of these two animals do you think has a better sense of style? Which do you think has better fashion sense? Okay, very good. And if I told you that one of these animals prefers reading books and the other animal prefers watching films, which do you think is which? Have a look at both of them in the eye and see which you think prefers reading or films. Okay, very good. That's very perceptive, very insightful, I would say. Okay, now I am going to show you a letter. Can you tell me what colour it is? Good, and what letter is it? Good, can you think of a word that ends in the letter R? A word that ends in the letter R? Good. Now I am thinking of a letter that ends in the letter R. I'll give you some clues about it and see if you can guess what word I'm thinking of. The word I'm thinking of is a 4-letter word. It ends in R. There is at least one in every room, more or less. And it's often made of wood. I'm thinking of a door. I'll show you the next letter. What colour is it? Okay, and what letter is it? Good, it is the letter P. Can you please try to ignore the sound of my voice once again? Focus only on this tapping. Just focus on the tapping and ignore the sound of my voice. Okay, now focus on the sound of my voice and ignore the tapping. Just focus on the sound of me whispering and ignore the tapping. Okay. Do you think that was easier or harder than the cup tapping, or the same? Okay. And did my whispering make any difference? Okay. Okay, now I want you to think of a word that contains both the letter P and the letter R. And I'm going to say as many words as I can think of that contain both the letter P and the letter R. And if I say the word that you have thought of, then you lose and you need to think of a new word. and if I don't say the word that you've thought of, then you win. Okay, so have you got a word? Good. Let's go. Oh, in the meantime, I want you to choose either the yellow R or the blue P. Which one do you prefer? Okay, then I want you to follow the one that you prefer. So we have pram, proud, print, prong, paper, harp, carp, tarp, warp, prose. Okay, I think I'm done. Did I get your word? Alright. So, did I get your word or no? Oh, okay. Okay, now I want you to just have a look at wherever I point with the end of my pen. Okay, can you please look at this flower here, the common poppy, and look at the dandelion, and look at the cornflower, Out of those 3 flowers that I just pointed to, how many were red? Good. And can you remember the name of the red flower? Can you remember the name of the yellow flower? Can you remember the name of the bluey purpley flower? It is a cornflower and the dandelion and the common poppy. Now, out of those 3 flowers, which would you rather have as a name? Common poppy, dandelion, or cornflower? Common poppy might be a bit of a mouthful and you could shorten it to poppy, I'm sure. So which of those do you prefer? I see. And out of those 3 flowers, have you ever seen any of them in real life? You have? Okay, which ones? Okay. Do you remember when the last time you saw one was? Okay. Okay, and if you had to live in one of those flowers, which would you prefer? Any other reasons why? Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Please continue looking wherever I point. Please look at the daffodil. Look at the foxglove, and look at the bluebell. Look at the bluebell. Once again, which of those 3 do you think is the best name? Not necessarily for yourself, but for anyone. We have daffodil, foxglove, or bluebell. Which name do you like the best? Okay, and out of these 3 flowers, which one do you think looks most likely to be poisonous? Okay, interesting. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you some sheets of different coloured and patterned paper, and I'm going to give you around 5 seconds to describe them to me. So describe the colour and the pattern, please. Here is number 1. Okay, very nice. Can you please describe number 2? Okay, very nice. And the final one, can you please describe pattern number 3? Okay, very good. Now, out of those three patterns, 1, 2, and 3, which one would you say reminds you most of spring? Any reason for that? And if you had to put a colour to spring, what colour do you think spring would be? And winter? And autumn? And summer? Okay, I have here 4 colour cards that I think remind me of the 4 seasons, and I would like you to guess if you can guess which one is which. Okay, so out of these 4 colours, we have this colour, this colour, this colour, and this colour. Which of these colours do you think might represent spring to me? Okay, for me, I think that this colour reminds me most of spring. Which colour do you think might remind me most of winter? Okay, good. This colour reminds me most of winter, reminds me of a dark winter's night. Which of these colours do you think would remind me of summer? Okay, this bright yellow reminds me of the summer sun. And so this colour reminds me of autumn. So, which of those 4 colours do you think matched their appropriate season best and least? Which do you agree with and disagree with the most? I see. And why is that? You think that it should be more of a, okay, kind of colour? Right. And, okay. Okay. Wonderful. Now, out of these 3 colours, how many of them are red to you? Just answer quickly, don't think about it too hard. How many are red? Okay. And how many of the following are orange? Okay. How many of the following are yellow? Okay. How many of the following are green? Between these 3. Okay. How many of the following are blue? We have these 3 colours. Okay. How many of the following are purple? Okay. And how many of the following are pink? Okay, very good. So, and if you could have any pet, a real creature or an imaginary creature, what would you like to have? Okay. Do you have any name in mind that you might name your pet? Okay. Now, I'm going to show you another letter. What colour is this, please? And what letter is it? Good. Can you think of an animal that begins with the letter E? Good. I thought of elephant as well. Can you think of an animal that ends with the letter E? This is a bit more challenging. Let me think. Horse is what I thought of. Okay, and can you think of a word that has both the letter E and the letter T? Can you think of a word that begins with T and E? Okay, I thought of the word tent. Can you think of a word that ends with T and then E? I thought of the word plate. Can you think of a word that begins with T? Oh, that begins with E, T. The only word I can think of right now is ether, which is not the most usual word. What colour is this? And what letter is it? Good. Can you think of a word which contains 2 O's? I thought of the word book. What was the name of the last book that you read? Good. And do you think you read more books as a child or now as an adult? Let's say between the ages of 9 and 11. Okay. Do you have a book or a book series that particularly sticks in your mind, that you think about often, that you could say is your favourite or had a big impact on you? And why is that? Right. Wonderful. Okay. Well, that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for doing an amazing job of answering my questions and following my instructions. You've done wonderfully. So now I will leave you to simply rest and relax, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your